received, as in his words, a brown envelope.
I would have
not necessarily the proprietor.
Yes.
Not necessarily the owner of the
that
establishment.
was what I said.
But he's talking about the fact that sometimes...
That was what I said, that we should look at ourselves and leave the proprietors out of this context.
He wasn't the proprietor was talking about. He's looking at the reporter,
context,
the journalist here, who goes out to cover a story, and because he's been sorted.
What happened about this sorting? We can't rule out unethical practices from every profession, including the legal profession.
Yes.
On ethical practices, even accounting profession, they have creative accounting. So we have that kind of issue, but that should not remove anybody's attention from the weightier matters of journalism, politics and election reporting.
Let's look at what has happened, what has been so far in the course of preparations for these elections. Would you say the media has been reporting as they should? Without, when Yomi opened, she said the media is accused of heating up the polity, underheating the polity, not reporting, over-reporting. Would you say the media has been fair?
Let me begin this way. We live in a country, as you and I know, that a country where journalism is taught by everybody. Everybody is a journalism teacher. Everybody, some will say, why? They are overheating the policy. Some will call me as an editor. Why did you use this photograph? Why didn't you use this one? Why did you use this story? Look at this newspaper. We have different backgrounds, and some are broadsheet, some are just quality newspapers, some are this and that. We have different tabloids. But the issue of reporting and not reporting, over-reporting, is within the context of what people know. The purpose of journalism is educating people to be able to have the informed opinion on issues such as elections. And if we are not able to do that, you should look at it within the context of even capitalization within the country. You look at the insurgency that we are reporting from Northeast. Most people know that most of the reporters that are in that zone cannot reach the beat. They can't reach the beat because of the context that we can talk about here now. In most parts of the world, like the context that made a person like this Christian Amanpour. Amanpour, you will see how when they were reporting the conflict in Europe at that time, embedded within the military, to report the issue. How many times have we, for instance, asked for embedment within the military to be able to report the issue, but then our own institution here will even want journalists not to get near that zone. They issued statements that we should not get near the zone. In the same vein, this election, we can admit through this medium that, yes, we have had some problems with having good political reporters like the Esajeris of those days. Good political reporters providing contexts, providing background, interpreting the issues. Most of the people now have gone in search of greener pastures. We can admit that. We have new people who may not be able to do it like that, the way we want to do it. But the people that are on ground now are doing it within the limit of the resources at their disposal, within the limit of experience that they have and what have you. So to that extent, I will say within the limit of our resources, the experience we have, and the complexity of the diversity that we report, where we are managing, we have tried our best.
Okay, let me bring in this, sorry, let me bring in this so that you can respond to it. They'll also respond. Okpanachi Jerome says the media is responsible partly for the hype intentions in the polity and insecurity. Do you agree with him? Because that sounded like what you were saying earlier.
Wait, that's what I was about, even saying that one thing we all agree on the same page here is that it depends on the side of the divide you're in. Which from his own analysis...
The media practitioners are on one divide? Or they choose their divide? Eh?
Well, we wouldn't group them together for this purpose. If I am in tabloid A, it depends on the divide. It's human. It's human. For example, you have your own reservation, you have your own bias towards this or that. And when you're reporting, it is bound to reflect. That is the issue I'm contesting about. And moreover, in Nigeria today, like they rightly said, the polity, well, say it as it is. Don't cover up. That's where I put my hand. Say it as it is, please. Don't cover up. And when the insecurity in Nigeria to an extent, I do not believe that the media, they're hyping up anything. It's what is glaring to everybody and for everyone. That yes, we have a high level of insecurity in Nigeria.
Okay, he said, say it as it is. As media practitioners, are we supposed to say it as it is, or, be the gatekeeper?
Yes, there are ethical considerations. What the media professionals are required to do at a point like this is just to operate within the ethics that govern the profession. You are required to be fair, you are required to be balanced, you are required to be objective, and don't forget that even the ethics tells you not to even suppress information. What people expect the media to do is to suppress information. That will be unethical in itself. So the media should just be fair. That person that sent in that tweet or whatever saying the media could be responsible for heightened tension in the country, I want to ask him, let him envisage a country without the media. Can you just try to visualize Nigeria without the media? That means everything will go haywire. All the talks about corruption, you won't hear of them till Nigeria is bled completely to death. There will be killings in thousands around the country. Nobody will hear of them. It will lull you into a false sense of security. You will think everything is well with the country, wherever. And whereas the country is almost dying. So it is better to have the media around than not to have it.
Even though Tokwe Bolayanwa says that elections 2015 have exposed the lack of investigative journalism, why does the media populate headlines with hearsay stories? Mr. Oloja.
Well, this is it. You see, the trouble with journalism now is that even the editors are not in charge of the front pages. And
so who's in charge?
Okay, the citizen journalists. You follow them, the social media. The advent of the social media has...
You mean people like Tokwe Bolayanwa?
Exactly. Yeah, he's a citizen journalist. Citizen journalism is an integral part of social media now. And amateurs, everybody can even, they just use their handset and to send stories, to send photographs, to send video, to send text, to send sound at the same time. The digital journalism we are contending with today is populated by and is even contextualized, is operated by citizen journalists. They don't require training, they don't require anything, and people follow them. Who will wait for me tomorrow? My paper will come out tomorrow. Nobody will wait for me. And people, before tomorrow, you will have seen what will have happened to the story I'm bringing out tomorrow.
On the blogs.
So it is terrible. And the people follow them. Whether it is true, it's not the issue. It's just that they have put something to the open, and that is the truth. If you don't report it that way, you as a reporter are in trouble.
Tokunbo, are the citizen journalists being a clog in the wheel of the hardcore journalists as they report the elections? Or are they being a plus?
I think we should see them as a plus. Because if the information is given, the journalists themselves might now later on use it as a lead or be forced to report it. But come, I've been restraining myself in calling names of tabloids. For example, I'll tell you whether you like it or not. I rarely switch on to NTA because it's one-sided. Go to another one at Alagbado. They bring things that you see. It's unfair. So there are journalists in there as well. And if I pick some tabloids too, same thing.
Tokunbo, you must be clear here that this is your opinion.
Yeah, personal opinion.
Because we also have to look at the legal perspectives of whatever we say here.
Personal opinion. Odutola, I do not switch on to NTA. Neither do I go to Alagbado.
Yeah, you have a
Now,
choice.
yes, you have different choices, but what would you say the media